Welcome to the workout. I am so excited. We've got full body strength circuit workout for you today. Now this is a circuit workout, so we're going to be completing 5 exercises back to back with no rest in between, and then we'll take a short rest after that circuit. We're going to be doing 2 different circuits of 5 exercises each. We've got the entire body. Now this is a strength workout, so even though we're working in a circuit fashion, I want you to challenge yourself with your resistance levels, your dumbbells and your bands. You are going to need a handled resistance band attached somewhere in your surrounding at about the middle of your torso, and you're going to need an elevated surface like a bench, a chair, a step, or something to lay down on. I will give you modifications if you don't have the equipment necessary. So let's get started. Make sure you've got a variety of weight loads so that you can really challenge yourself. Your goal is to complete 12 repetitions for every single exercise. Let's get it warmed up. Take your feet separated. Let's take a big inhale up, stretching up to the sky. Exhale it out. And let's do that 2 more times. Big inhale up. Exhale it out. 1 more time, and I'm gonna have you stay up at the top. Okay, stay up here and breathe naturally and just relax. And now I want you to actively reach up towards the ceiling as long as you possibly can, activating that transverse abdominis. Lengthen yourself out as far as you possibly can, aggressively reaching for the sky. And relax it down. We're going to do that again in 1 minute, but for now, let's go into some spinal rotations. I want you to actively squeeze your glute on the leg that you're turning away from. Your right glute, your left glute. Actively squeeze your glute because that creates the foundation to spin around so that we can just release the spine, undoing any stickiness, opening up the hips a little bit, just slowly starting to get your heart rate up. Just such a good exercise to get you prepared. A little bit of torso rotation, a little bit of lateral movement. Just let those arms kind of swing around you naturally. It really should feel good. 1 more. And feet wide, arms up over your head comfortably and naturally. And go. I want you to lengthen up really aggressively, actively lift for the ceiling as high as you possibly can. You'll know if you're doing this right if you feel the muscles of your back activating. That is proof that you're really activating your core and that transverse abdominis muscle to really wake it up, to draw in your pelvis so that you can brace throughout the workout. And relax it down. Take your feet separated, look down, take a look at your toes, make sure that they are truly parallel from each other. Bend your knees, hips back with a little bit of curvature in your lower back, and let's go side to side. Sitting heavy into your heels, side to side, pressing back into your heels. Sitting nice and deep. As you get into that, as it starts to feel better, you're gonna sit a little bit deeper, coming all the way down and reaching across the floor. You can move faster or slower than me if you want. This exercise is really about sitting deeply into the leg as you're bending here. Pressing into the heel, keeping your body weight over that heel, nothing on the toes. Such a good preparatory move for the inner thighs. Warms up the hamstrings and the glutes. Oh, so good. Bringing the heart rate up. And let's do 2 more. And relax. Take your feet together, and I'm going to have you take a big reach up over your head. And we're going to step back, coming into a runner's lunge. Press into the front foot. Big reach up. Same thing on the other leg, all the way back to a runner's lunge. So we're going to alternate here, reaching, runner's lunge. Big reach, runner's lunge. Now, find your own appropriate rate and rhythm here to turn this into a big warm-up move. This is the math daddy of them all. It does so much to get you ready for the workout. You want to make sure that you're keeping your weight over that front heel and let your back knee gently tap down on the ground. That's going to open up those hip flexors of the leg and back. So we're getting a great dynamic opening of the hips by stretching the hip flexors and activating the glutes simultaneously. Really press into that front heel, big reach. 2 more. 1 more. And relax. Come to center. Bring your balance onto 1 foot. Every workout starts with a little bit of single leg activation. Find your balance on 1 leg, soften into that knee, and I want you to look around your space, intentionally throwing your balance off. The whole goal of this exercise is to really throw your balance off. The more you look around, looking up and down, you're gonna throw your balance off. Now, I might make it look easy, but if you are not losing your balance, I want you to look behind you. I want you to look up, look down, move your eyes and your head until your balance gets thrown off, because that's the point of this exercise. You should start to feel a warming and maybe a little bit of a burning in the glute medius on that leg that you're standing on, and relax it down. Same thing on the other leg. First, find your balance. Make sure that your standing knee is slightly bent. Really important, keeping that standing knee slightly bent. Once you settle into your balance, look around. So balance takes about 5 to 6 seconds to begin to kind of settle in. And then as you complete this exercise, you'll notice your balance just gets a little bit better and a little bit better. But the truth is, we don't want it to be good. I want you to have to tap down and catch your balance. I want it to throw your balance off, because that is what's going to strengthen the muscles and improve the functional balance of the leg that you're on. Keep looking everywhere. Keep that knee bent. You might feel the arches of your feet warming up. Tap down for balance as you need to. And relax. Let's take another big inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up, and I want you to interlock your fingers up over your head, bring them down, back behind, and I want you to actively press your elbows back, reach your chest forward, opening up the chest. We've got chest exercise today, so I just want those shoulders to be open a little bit so that your shoulder girdle is falling into the right place. Pressing your chest forward and relax. Let's get into the workout. You're going to need some dumbbells and a handled resistance band. Let me show you the 5 exercises quickly so that you can move at your own pace if you want to move a little bit faster than me. I'm going to demonstrate the exercises without dumbbells, but please know I want you using resistance for everything. First exercise is a dumbbell Romanian deadlift, 12 repetitions. This is a strong exercise, so make sure that you're using a heavier dumbbell. Second exercise is a band lat row, having your band anchored someplace in your space. Third exercise is brand new. Let me show you real quick. If you've been here for my workout before, you've never seen this. Your band is anchored behind you. Feet are separated. You are going to fold over in half, and it's a bicep curl. So we are doing it horizontal bicep curl with the band attached behind you. It's one of my favorite bicep exercises. I don't know why we've never done it before. Third exercise, goblet squat. Squeeze your glutes. Last exercise is a lying on the bench or floor dumbbell pullover. Lying dumbbell pullover. Okay, you guys ready? 12 repetitions of every exercise, no break in between, and then we'll take a rest. Grab your dumbbells. Let's do it, friends. Feet are separated, shoulder width distance apart. Bend your knees. Natural curvature in your lower back. Here we go. Dumbbell Romanian Deadlift, RDL. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Really reach your hips back, keeping that neutral curvature in your lower back. Really important. Keep that natural curvature. If you've got a mirror, you want to check your technique and you want to make sure that you've got some curve in your lower back. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Really good. Pushing your hips back. Oh, one of my favorite exercises. So good to improve hamstring flexibility as well. Oh, is that amazing? 12 reps should be challenging. One more. And we've got band lat row. Make sure your band is anchored someplace. If you don't have a band, you're going to do a bent over dumbbell row. If you don't have a band that's anchored somewhere. Feet are together, knees are bent, and chest is up, shoulders back, and you're just gonna row that band back, bringing your hands towards your rib cage. If you can, give me a bit of a pause here on the back end. Pause. Now this really should be challenging. If your band isn't challenging, I want you to step farther away from your band. Bring those shoulder blades towards each other, keeping them down and back. Super important, down and back. You should feel the pressure and this contraction around the back of your bra strap area. And relax. Next exercise is that bent over bicep pull. Grab your band from behind you, feet together, fold in half with a little bit of curvature in your lower back. Head is in alignment, and it's a bicep curl. I love this version of a band bicep curl because the way that it's loaded and the way that we're working with gravity, it really does put a lot more isolation right onto the biceps. It's so good, so good. Make sure that you're keeping your shoulders anchored towards your hips, shoulder blades towards each other. This is a lot of concentration on the biceps. This is going to make your arms look incredible and should make you feel like a badass. One more. Next exercise is your goblet squat. Grab a heavier dumbbell. Feet are separated about shoulder width distance apart. Toes are turned open about 30 degrees, not too wide. A mistake I see a lot of women make is they take their feet super wide. Knees bent, sitting straight down, stand and squeeze your glutes. Oh, that's so good. This is like the best flexibility move for your hips. If you have a hard time sitting all the way down, don't worry about it. You'll get there. Your job today is just to sit to the depth that feels right for you. Keeping your body weight on your heels, pressing your knees out. Squeeze your glutes right there. Remember, you can move faster or slower than me if you want, but I really want the last 2 repetitions of the 12 to be challenging. So find the weight load that's really challenging for 12 reps. One more, lying dumbbell pullover. You can do this exercise on a bench, a couch, a chair, or the floor. Grab a heavier weight load. Shoulders are down and back in space. Dumbbell is starting up over your chest, shoulders pressing towards your hips, up over your head, and pull through. Great exercise for the lats, triceps, and believe it or not, your abs. Such a great exercise for abs. Make sure you do have a little bit of that natural curve in your lower back. I actually don't want you to flatten out your back here. I know you've probably heard that from other experts, but with me, I want a little bit, just a little bit of space between your lower back and the floor or the bench. Exhale as you pull. Please count your repetitions because I realize my repetition count might be a little off. That's because I'm thinking about the workout and teaching you and training you, and I'm not counting. One more, and relax. Weight to your chest. Use your legs to bring you up. Put your weight down, and we've got a short break. Now, I want you to move about for the short break. Keep moving. We're going to take about 30 seconds of recovery. Grab a drink of water. Keep your legs moving. Get more dumbbells. Adjust your weight load before we go back in, and we're going to repeat this same exact circuit again. All of the same exercises. Now, if any of those exercises were comfortable, your job is to challenge yourself. Remember, 12 repetitions, where the last 2 reps, 11 and 12, are hard. And if they're not hard, you've got to get a heavier weight load because I really want to be building your strength. This is a strength workout, even though it's circuit training. where you're getting that cardiovascular boost as well. I do want it to really challenge you strength-wise. And if you don't need this short little rest, then that is a cue that you're not working hard enough during the workout. Okay, you ready for round 2? Grab the heaviest dumbbells you've got, Romanian Deadlift. Here we go. Toes are open slightly, knees are bent. Let's do it. Hips back, squeeze your glutes, 12 reps. Now you can move faster than me if you want. You can move slower. You can do these exercises with just your body weight. You can do heavy weights. You can do light weights. The way I design my workouts is that it works for every fitness level. If you think this workout is too easy, that's on you. That means you're not using a challenging enough weight load. Because if you use a heavy enough weight load, this workout's gonna crush you. Squeeze those glutes at the top, 12 reps, and then we go into that band lat row. Here we go. If that first set of lat row was comfortable for you, step farther away from your anchor point, or get yourself a heavier resistance band. Feet next to each other, drop your shoulders down towards your hips. So important on this exercise. Like really push your shoulders towards your hips and watch your upper back transform. This is a powerful, amazing, restorative exercise when you do it the right way. And that means you've got to be depressing your shoulder girdle, okay? Really bringing those hands towards your rib cage, a little bit of pause on the back, really bringing your shoulder blades towards each other. This is one of the most important exercises you can be doing. One more, and we're going right into that bent over bicep pull, keeping your band anchored where it is, bending into the knees, bending over, shoulder blades towards each other and back, pulling up on those biceps. Now, you want to keep your elbows right near your hips. Try to keep your elbows locked off in space. Don't let them move too much. The whole goal here is to keep your upper arm pretty much parallel to the ground and in space, just working that band around your biceps. I would actually say of all the bicep exercises out there, I feel this is one of the most effective, barring some barbell or some cable exercises. But for this workout, clearly we're not using either of those apparatus. So therefore, I really love this version for bicep curl. Goblet squat. Grab your heavy weight. If that first one was comfortable, your job is to get your weight load up there. Listen, everybody should be doing this with around the bare minimum of about 8 pounds. You need to have some weight in front of you to counterbalance this move. And you could be upwards towards 35, 40, even 45 pounds here on your kettlebell or your dumbbell. Squeeze your glutes at the top, keep your chest lifted. Use your breath. Toes are opened a little. Hips are ending below your knees. Squeeze those glutes right there. So good. Chest is up. 2 more. They feel so good, don't they? Lying dumbbell pullover. Grab the heaviest weight you have. Remember, you can do this exercise on the floor. You don't have to be on a bench, but a bench just makes it a little bit better. Up over the head, drive your heels, the heels of your hands, okay? So the heels of your hands, the palms of your hands towards your knees. So we're pulling through. I want you to really use your own isometric contraction here. Almost imagine if there was a resistance band attached to your dumbbell and it was anchored over your head. You're pulling here as if you've got the resistance anchored behind you. This exercise really is pretty powerful, and most women can handle a pretty substantial weight load. Breathe through it. One more, and relax. Short break. Make sure you keep moving, grab a drink of water. During this break, I'm gonna demonstrate the next circuit of 5 exercises. We're gonna go through it 2 times, then we're gonna do all 10 exercises in a row. It's gonna be such a good workout. I'm super, super excited. Let me show you the next 5 workouts. Please keep moving, grab some water. We've got reverse lunges. You can do body weight only, or you can hold some dumbbells, totally up to you. Here are your options. Body weight only, using your hand on your front knee for assistance. You can also use something nearby to steady your balance if you need to. Second option is with dumbbells. I love dumbbells at the shoulders, but if you prefer, it's okay to have them at your waist. It really just kind of depends on what's feeling effective for your body. First exercise. Second exercise, we're going back to our anchored band for that band chest press. If you don't have your band set up this way, you can perform the same exact exercise on the floor with dumbbells. You're just gonna lay on the floor and you're gonna do a dumbbell chest press. It's the same movement pattern, you're just not vertical, you're horizontal. Third exercise, bench dips. Hands are right by your booty, feet are together, knees are bent, hips down, chest high. Bench tricep dips. From here, we're gonna go into a hip thrust. Grab yourself a pretty heavy dumbbell and we're gonna go right into a glute hip thrust. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this with a dumbbell with a little trick that I've worked on how to do this with a dumbbell, but you've got hip thrust right here. And last exercise, moderate weight dumbbells. We're doing alternating overhead press, alternating overhead press, moderate to challenging weight load. If you don't have a bench, both of these exercises can be performed on the floor. The hip thrust can be a glute bridge on the floor, and I'm going to show you guys a great way how to perform this hip thrust with a dumbbell. Are you ready? Let's get started. Grab your dumbbells, reverse lunges, feet together, knees bent. You can also do this body weight. You've got 12 repetitions on each foot. So that means 24 in total. This is a front leg exercise. So put your focus, your attention, your love into the front leg. Body weight is on the heel, nothing on the toes. Chest stays upright, keeping that chest lifted. Dumbbells at your sides or shoulders, whichever feels more effective for you. You know, I used to have hard and fast rules about this, that I wanted the dumbbells at the shoulders. But over the years, I've learned that every day is a different day. And sometimes it might feel more effective for you to have your dumbbells at the hips, or it might feel more effective to have them at your shoulders. It's really up to you and just whatever feels more effective, not necessarily more comfortable, okay? 24 in total, band chest press. And if you don't have it anchored, you're gonna be laying on the floor, just doing a dumbbell chest press, okay? If you've got a band anchored behind you, you've got a choice. You can stagger your feet. If your band resistance is hard, you're gonna need to stagger your feet for some leverage. Pressing straight out here, bringing your elbows back behind you, just until your hands are in front of your chest. You don't want your hands to come so far back because it puts too much pressure on the front of the shoulder. So hands just come to about the sides of your chest. Big push. And listen, this is hard for me today. This is not hard. You need to step farther away from your attachment point or get a heavier, harder resistance band. 12 reps. And we've got bench tricep dips next. This circuit is legs back, legs, chest, triceps, legs, shoulders. Bench Tricep dips, hands under your hips, feet together. Keep your knees bent. Drop straight down, straight up, reaching up super high at the top. Super high at the top. You can do this on a couch, a chair, a stair, a step, a bench, anything that's elevated. Get creative. I promise you have it in your house. Elbows straight back, chest is lifting. Make sure you're really pushing your chest up super high at the top here, because if you do that, you're also getting some strengthening through your upper back as well. This is a great exercise, not just for the triceps. It's the triceps, sure, of course, but it's great for so many other things as well. And relax. Grab a dumbbell, a weight plate. You could also put a circular band around your hips for hip thrust. I'm going to teach you guys a little skill, a little trick. Whatever you're leaning against, it should be about your shoulder blade height. If you need to prop yourself up to get onto it, that's totally fine. Feet are about shoulder width distance apart. Turn your toes open. Here's a little trick. You should be able to put a dumbbell at your hips, hands at your head. You should be able to go through your hip thrust and keep that dumbbell in place. Hips suck and tuck back. Hips tuck under so that that dumbbell doesn't go anywhere. If your dumbbell is rolling around at the top, that means you're pushing your hips too high. This is the system that I've devised to test out a proper hip thrust for my clients to determine if they're going too high or not. You should really be able to steady that dumbbell. And this is a round dumbbell. This is not an octagonal dumbbell. So round dumbbell, holding at the top. One more, and relax. Your new favorite exercise. We've got overhead alternating punches next. Grab your heavier dumbbells and right up over your head, feet together, alternating. 12 on each side, which is a total of 24. Now, since we're doing one at a time, you really can go for a serious weight load here. Now, you could be doing 8s, 10s, 20 pounds maybe. Listen, this workout is on you. If you find this workout is not challenging, that's because you're not challenging yourself. Because if you do this exercise with the weight loads that are challenging for your body, it's a killer workout. And if that means you've got to get more dumbbells, get yourself more dumbbells, my friend. It's the best investment you can make. Short break, and then we're going to go through these 5 exercises again. This circuit is legs, chest, triceps, legs, shoulder. First circuit was legs, back, biceps, legs, back. So there's always a theme. This is a full body workout, and this is about you challenging yourself so that every single set, the last 2 reps, you don't know if you can get them done. Where you think, ooh, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I can get these last 2 reps. If that's not happening, your weight load is not challenging enough for you. Short break. We're going to go through this circuit one more time, and then we're going to do both circuits back to back, no rest in between, and you're going to feel amazing tomorrow. You're going to feel toned and sculpted and tight and lean and amazing. Reverse lunges. How did that first set feel? If it was comfortable, you know what to do. Grab yourself some heavier dumbbells, feet together. Bend your knees, pick your position. You can do this body weight only, okay? Remember, this is really about where you are. And I do have some women in this community that are newer to strength training. So if you're newer to this and this exercise is hard, you can do this body weight only, because remember, the last 2 reps should be challenging. And that might mean your body weight is enough resistance. I want these workouts to be accessible and effective for everybody. And that's why I really give a lot of variations. But also, this isn't about my variations. This is about you figuring out the right intensity for your body today. Press into that front heel. Use your breath. Such a good exercise for the glutes. Oh, can you feel that? It's heaven on the booty. Chest press with that band, or on the ground with dumbbells, whichever is right for you. Taking one step forward. If your band is heavy for you, stagger those feet, bringing the opposite foot forward this time. Just make sure you're not bringing your hands or your elbows really back too far. We want it to be challenging enough so that the pressure and the load is on your chest, okay? But I don't want you bringing it back too far where it's putting stress on the front of the shoulder. It really is ideal if you've got a mirror that you can use during these workouts so that you can check your technique. It really just helps you learn where your body should be in space with these exercises. Tricep dips, even though I think that's a misnomer, because this exercise does so much more than just your triceps. Feet together, bend your knees. You can also separate your feet, okay? Bend your knees and drop your hips straight down, lift up. You're not moving away from the bench. You're moving down and up, emphasizing at the top this upward pressing. Because if you do that, it becomes a back exercise as well. Really lift your chest up. Don't go too deep if you have any shoulder pain. You don't have to go super deep on this exercise either, just like that last one. Just to the depth where you feel the effort, but no pressure on the shoulders. One more, and we've got hip thrust next. Try it out with a dumbbell. You can also use a weight plate. You can do body weight only. You can even use a circular hip band and do it that way. Ideally, you're able to just lean back and grab your surface with your shoulders. But if your surface is high, you just kind of prop yourself up to get into position. The edge of your bench or whatever apparatus you're using should be right at the base of your shoulder blades, okay? Then you swing your hips back. You swing your hips back, bring your booty back, keep your chin looking down over your body, or you can look upward, but keep your chin tucked under. I just don't want you looking fully straight up, which was something I used to teach years ago, which in fact, I don't think it's actually wrong, but by keeping your chin tucked under, it does help you really able to hit that bottom position just a little bit better. And remember, this test with the dumbbell is going to tell you if you're lifting too high or not, because if you lift too high, that dumbbell is going to roll right off your legs. You want to be able to hold your dumbbell right at the top of the exercise here. And relax. One more move. We've got those overhead alternating punches. Shoulder press, feet together, knees bent, dumbbells at your shoulders, alternating straight up over your head. Activate that core. Your dumbbell should end over the shoulder towards the midline of your body. So not straight up over the shoulder, between your shoulder and the top of your head. The shoulder and the top of the head. That's a complicated way of saying that the dumbbell kind of moves inward at the top. A little bit. One end of your dumbbell should be directly over the top of your head. You challenging yourself with a good weight load here, because if so, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it in those shoulders. One more short break. Okay, are you ready? We got about a 20-second break, and then we're gonna go through the first circuit right into the second circuit. You got 10 exercises with no rest in between. Get your dumbbells in place make your mental intention in terms of what weight load you're going to do on which exercise. As a reminder, that first circuit, RDL, band lat row, band bent over bicep curl, goblet squat, lying dumbbell pullover, and then we come back to those reverse lunges to begin this circuit. Short little break. Remember what I said, if you don't need this break, you're not working hard enough. I promise. I promise. And if you feel like you are working hard enough and it's still not a hard enough workout, the fault is on your weight loads, and you've got to get yourself more challenging weight loads. We ready? Dumbbell Rdl. Feet are hip distance apart, knees are soft. Neutral curvature in your lower back. Keep those knees slightly bent, and then at the bottom, those knees are definitely bent. Hips back, 12 reps. Inhaling on the way down, exhaling on the way up. Really reach your hips back. Oh, I could do it forever. It feels so good. So good. One more. Band lat row. You're facing your attachment point. Chest is lifted. Shoulders are pulling back. Feet can be staggered if you've got a really resistant band. Shoulders back. Bring your chest forward. Hands to your rib cage. Give me a pause here, because if you do, you are going to see why this exercise is so powerful. It's on the pause here that all of the appropriate muscles really fire up. They fire up. You'll feel your biceps. You'll feel your abs. You'll feel your chest. And the majority of the pressure really should be right around your mid-back at the base of your shoulder blades where your bra strap crosses across. And one more. Bent over, band, bicep curl. One of my new favorites. You know, I used to do this exercise years ago and then I forgot about it, honestly. Knees bent. And then recently, as I've been trying to get creative for these workouts for you guys, I was like, ooh, how did I forget that exercise? Here we go. Big bicep curl. Listen, if it's not hard, step farther away from your attachment point or get yourself a heavier band. Shoulder blades are moving towards each other. Elbows don't move a whole lot. They are going to inch around a little bit, but for the most part, you want to keep them right next to your hips. One more. Goblet squat. Goblet squat is next. And you've got your lying dumbbell pullover on the bench or floor. Grab yourself a nice heavy dumbbell. Toes are turned open about 45 degrees. But your feet, your heels aren't super wide. Your heels are really only about shoulder width distance apart, okay? Squeeze your glutes. Really give me a big butt tuck, butt squeeze here. It's all about the glutes. Your glutes really are the most important muscle group in your entire body. They really are. They're designed to be the biggest muscle, and if they're not, there's fallout and problems up and down the kinetic chain. Squeeze those glutes, hips tucked under. 12 reps. Hopefully they're hard. This is a big move. Next exercise is your lying dumbbell pullover. Nice heavy weight. My weight's not heavy enough, so I'm actually going to show you how I double up. I take two weights. I take two weights, I cross them over, making an X in between, and that is how, if I'm limited by my equipment, I make this exercise harder. Driving through. Keep that little bit of an arch in your lower back, but make sure the energy is really pulling through. I want you to pull through, okay? Bringing those hands through towards your feet. Use your breath. So good, right? Ah, so good. Make sure you stick around after the workout. I've got a big announcement. And if you're here with me live, we're going to be doing our walking lunge workshop, of course. If you're watching this in playback and you want to join us for the live workout, please go to hollyperkins.com/free workout. Starting that second circuit of reverse lunges. I was so excited to do that hip thrust, you guys. Feet together. Okay, reverse lunges, here we go. Starting our second circuit, going through these next 5 exercises. Use your breath, challenge yourself with the weight load, driving into your heels. If this is hard on your back toes, remember you can do this body weight only, using your hands on your front leg, just to give you a little bit of assistance. Starting the second circuit of 5 exercises here. Band chest press is next, or you can perform the same movement pattern on the floor as a dumbbell chest press. So good. Okay, band chest press or lying on the ground, dumbbell chest press. It's the same movement pattern, just a different relationship to gravity. Make sure you're real cautious about where your hands are coming right here. I don't want you going too deep, just enough that you're keeping the tension on your chest muscles. But if you go back farther, you'll notice that you lose the tension on your chest. If you come way, 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 way back here, there's no tension on the chest. It goes onto the anterior deltoid, which is the front of the shoulder, which is a smaller muscle. And that little baby can't handle this big, huge movement pattern if you go too far. So make sure you keep it a little shallow. Bench dips are next, and then we're gonna be doing our hip thrust, the favorite of them all. Start with your hands under your hips, so your hands are directly under your shoulders, okay? Feet together, let your knees bend. I really prefer the bent knee version. I know you've seen people do this with straight legs. Oh, that is just all kinds of disaster right there. So knees are bent because it unlocks your hips. If your knees are straight, you're then subject to your hamstring inflexibility because most people have tight hamstrings. So by bending the knees, you're freeing up your hips, which means you've got a free upper body, which means you're gonna have better technique. Here too, be cautious about how deep you're going. Chest is super high and lifted. 2 more, and then we've got that hip thrust. Grab your dumbbell or weight plate or even circular hip band if you would like. Try out the variation that I taught you today. Now, until you really get this exercise down, you do have to kind of figure out your position here on the bench. And if you, or chair or couch, wherever you are, but put the edge of your surface right at your shoulder blades. Heels shoulder width distance apart, toes turned open. Balance that weight. Oh, by the way, just so you know, if you are practicing this variation and you're kind of having a hard time figuring out how to do it so that the dumbbell doesn't roll away, just know it did take me some practice. And that's exactly how I created this little test, because I was like, ooh, that's a brilliant way for you to self-assess if your hips are coming too high. There's also a trick at the bottom. You want to swing your hips down, back, and under. Swing your hips down, back, and under so that you've got a little bit of an arch in your lower back on the back end. This is an RDL, technically. This is a little bit of an RDL in your hips and upper body. 12 reps. 1 more. I could do it all day long. and relax. Grab your heavier dumbbells. We've got alternating overhead shoulder press. Whatever weight load is right for you. 12 on each arm is a total of 24. Knees bent. So you're probably catching on. Bent knees unlock the hips. When your hips are unlocked, your spine is able to find its appropriate, natural, neutral curvature. And when that happens, your upper body gets unlocked. So locked knees changes your mechanics all the way up and down your body. You've got to keep your knees unlocked. That doesn't mean there's not a time and a place to lock your knees. There is. But here, on most movement patterns, when your legs are serving as your base of support, you want those knees unlocked or slightly bent. 12 on each arm, 24 in total. How good does that feel? One more. Dumbbells down. Let's go through a little bit of a cool down. Really good job. Now, if you're watching this in playback or you want more of a workout, go ahead. Do these 2 circuits again. Do another round of all 10 exercises with no rest in between. You could even do it 3 times if you want. Take your feet separated. Let's come into that spinal rotation and just move into a little bit of a cool down before I send you off. If you're here with me live, stick around after the workout for our mini walking lunge workshop. If you're watching this in playback and you want to join us for a live workout, come to hollyperkins.com/free workout. You'll probably see the link below this video and join me and all my best friends for a live workout on Saturdays. And relax. Let's take a big inhale up. Let's do a little quad stretch. One more inhale up. Bringing that heart rate down. Exhale. We're going to do a little bit of a quad stretch here. If you need to use something for balance, please find it. Feet together. Knees bent. Bring one heel up behind you. Grab your shoelaces if you can. If you cannot, you can grab the heel of your shoe. You can grab your pant leg. You could also grab a belt and wrap it around your foot. Once you're here, standing knee is bent. Tuck your pelvis under. Once your pelvis is tucked under, you're going to pull that knee back. Keep your pelvis tucked under while you pull the knee back. When you look down, your bent knee should be next to your straight leg or slightly behind with this pelvis tucked under. Quadricep is a big, huge, long muscle that crosses 2 joints. So we have to make sure that we get both of those joints opened in order to effectively stretch the muscle. This stretch in all of its incarnations is something that every woman should be doing every single day. Knees bent. Grab that foot wherever. Make sure your standing knee is bent. Tuck your pelvis under. That's going to push your knee forward, but then pull your knee back, keeping that pelvis tucked under. And what that does, that's because rectus femoris comes up and attaches above the hip. And so we've got to get this hip in full extension to come into the quad stretch. Actually, otherwise you're not going to get a full and proper quad stretch. Such a powerful exercise to keep your knees healthy, keep your hips open, keep you feeling well, keep you out of quad dominance. It's so good. And relax. One last big inhale. Interlock your fingers up over your head. Bring them back behind you. Bring your elbows back. Open up your chest. Press your chest forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and press your shoulder blades towards your hips. That is going to give you an unbelievable upper body opening stretch. And exhale it out. Thank you so much for joining me for this workout. I will see you next time.